Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking an immersive, super fast-paced journey through the rise, the magnificent reign, and, well, the sudden, violent ruin of the most famous creatures to ever walk the Earth, the dinosaurs. We're going to break down exactly how these absolute titans dominated our planet for 150 million years, and then how it all ended in a literal flash. To make this explainer incredibly focused, I'm going to guide you through a rapid-fire countdown of 20 mind-blowing facts. And look, we aren't just looking at old bones here. We're diving deep into the exact mechanisms of their evolution, the terrifying mechanics of the deadliest day on Earth, and finally, and maybe most importantly, how this ancient apocalypse connects directly to our own survival today. You ready? Let's jump right in. Section 1. The Dawn of Dinosaurs. Let's travel back to the Triassic period and uncover exactly how the reign of these magnificent creatures first kicked off. Okay, fact number 1. Scientists are not just wildly guessing these dates. Researchers from MIT are actually using microscopic crystals found in ancient volcanic ash as 221-million-year-old clocks. By measuring the atomic decay inside these tiny little crystals, we can precisely date the earliest dinosaur fossils down to the decimal. It is astonishingly accurate. Moving on to fact 2, and this one shifts our entire understanding of their origins. See, we used to think dinosaurs started in South America and slowly, migrated across the globe over millions of years. But new geological evidence proves they actually popped up simultaneously across multiple continents. They didn't just slowly spread out, they essentially conquered the globe all at once. Fact 3 confirms a really classic scientific theory. The earliest bird-hipped dinosaurs appeared roughly 229 million years ago. And fact 4, that is the exact same time their lizard-hipped cousins showed up on the scene. They diverged from a common ancestor right at the dawn of their existence, proving that the classic two-branch dinosaur family tree we all learned about in school, yeah, it's remarkably accurate. Section 2, Evolution and Feathered Wonders. So, how did these early creatures adapt, survive, and wildly transform their bodies over the next several million years? Which brings us to fact 5, early dinosaurs really had it tough. They did not start out in lush, green, cinematic jungles. They originated in brutal, dry, and super arid environments. And for fact 6, they definitely weren't alone. They had to survive alongside these giant, absolutely terrifying crocodilian relatives that ruled the land. To compete and actually survive all that, fact 7 reveals that dinosaurs had to adapt incredibly quickly, exploding into this massive variety of bizarre and amazing body shapes. Fact 8 shows us exactly how they conquered the globe. When mapping out their physical body types, the morphospace, dinosaurs achieved a completely mind-blowing diversity in shape and size compared to other ancient reptiles. I mean, from towering, long-necked giants that shook the earth to tiny, two-legged sprinters. Adaptability was their absolute superpower. They simply out-evolved the competition. And that adaptability, that perfectly leads into facts 9 and 10, because feathers weren't actually meant for flying at first. They were a brilliant innovation for insulation, or maybe visual display. But as certain dinosaur lineages got smaller and smaller over millions of years, shrinking down to some pretty incredible sizes, this feathered anatomy perfectly set the stage for aerial flight. Think about that for a second. The modern birds you see outside your window are a direct result of these ancient dinosaur adaptations. Section 3. The Deadliest Day on Earth. After 150 million years of absolute dominance, we arrive at the sudden, violent ruin of the dinosaurs. Fact 11 is, well, it's truly terrifying. When the asteroid hit the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico 66 million years ago, it didn't just hit anywhere or anyhow. Simulations show it struck the Earth at exactly 60 degrees. According to researchers, this was quite literally the deadliest possible angle. It acted like this massive cosmic gouge, maximizing the amount of climate-changing pulverized rock and lethal gases violently thrust into the upper atmosphere. Fact 12 really puts the sheer scale of this into perspective. The asteroid itself was massive, roughly the size of Wellington Harbour in New Zealand. But fact 13 is the crater it left behind, which is still buried deep underground, a staggering 180-kilometer-wide zone of destruction. The impact was so unfathomably energetic that dense continental rock literally vaporized on contact. Just gone. For facts 14 and 15, we actually have physical evidence of this apocalypse that you can still hold in your hand today. We have tiny glass beads formed from molten rock that essentially rained back down from the sky. And alongside that, impact-shocked quartz. The internal structure of this crystal was completely deformed by immense instantaneous pressure and heat. It's the kind of extreme distortion we otherwise only see in modern nuclear blasts. Which brings us to fact 16. It is a profoundly sobering realization. 150 million years of incredible evolution, massive physical diversity, and global dominance were brought to a sudden, brutal end in a geological instant. This single cosmic event triggered a freezing impact winter that completely wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs and eradicated about half of all plant and animal species living on Earth. Section 4. Surviving the fallout. So, what happened next? The world didn't end completely. We're going to examine the highly adaptable microscopic life forms that somehow managed to outlive the apocalypse. Facts 17 and 18 reveal a truly fascinating micro-world of survivors. While the giant dinosaurs starved in the freezing darkness, tiny fern spores actually dominated the scarred landscape for thousands of years. Meanwhile, in the oceans, specific microscopic marine plankton survived simply because they were already used to the cold climate. The giant and strong perished, while the tiny and adaptable inherited the Earth. And for fact 19, we get this fantastic twist of fate. Remember those giant crocodilians from the Triassic period that the early dinosaurs had to violently compete with? Well, while the magnificent dinosaurs perished, the surviving crocodilian species actually benefited from the mass extinction. With the dinosaurs completely out of the picture, crocodilians rapidly expanded into all the newly emptied habitats. So why does all this matter to us today? Fact 20 brings us right back to the present. The KT boundary mass extinction isn't just ancient history, guys. It provides a vital blueprint for our own survival. Initially, studying the explosive force of this ancient impact helped governments during the Cold War understand the true, terrifying mechanics of a modern nuclear winter. It proved that atmospheric debris could globally shut down the planet's ecosystems. Furthermore, this ancient event basically holds up a mirror to our own future. After that freezing impact winter subsided, the massive amounts of trapped gases caused a severe global greenhouse effect. Sound familiar? This post-asteroid greenhouse spike is one of the very few episodes in Earth's entire history where gas levels and temperatures rose at a rate similar to what we are predicting for our next 200 years. It perfectly models our current trajectory of rapid climate change. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought. The asteroid impact was the fifth great mass extinction. But today, species are dying at an alarming rate because of human activity pumping greenhouse gases into the atmosphere and radically altering habitats. Are human actions currently replicating the devastating conditions of the deadliest day on Earth? Are we the asteroid of the sixth extinction? It's a heavy, fascinating question, and understanding the dinosaurs is absolutely key to finding the answer. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.